Tonight on News 5 Live, deadly shooting in Locks Alley. Elderly woman accidentally sets fire to her own house. And Belize's Prime Minister awarded honorary doctorate from Taiwanese University. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
We have been a partner with Smart for over 10 plus years. We have a full Smart plan we use as our major driver for our business. We have a service that rolls over in that if you call one and it is busy, it rolls over to the next line. So once you call us, you can get us at any time. Before we got this Smart service, we were paying upwards of nearly $2,000 in phone bills. Since we've had our Smart service, we pay an average about $600. So we've had tremendous saving, more than 50%. For the businesses, if you want to save money, switch to Smart because it is far more cost effective and the service is excellent.
Smart continues to be innovative in bringing new technology and meaningful savings during these challenging times to businesses across Belize. Sign up for our VoIP technology or broadband packages and save more.
Are you looking for the right product to keep your family and your home safe? Then Spark Alcohol is exactly what you've been looking for. It prevents the spread of many diseases. It's also fast-drying, safe, and conveniently packaged in a spray bottle. Protect your family and your home with Spark Alcohol. Exclusively distributed by Unitex Company Limited.
Digi, the premier name in voice and data, is also the country's leading provider of innovative services and solutions for small business and enterprise. At Digi Business, we offer solutions, tools, and applications to support your business needs. Reduce costs, improve efficiency, and excel in a changing world where no idea is too big and no task is too small. From technology advising to design implementation and management, our team of qualified solution sales and specialists can develop a reliable and robust infrastructure, allowing you to spend more time on what matters most, your business. Visit us online to explore how Digi Business innovative products and solutions can help your business reduce costs and improve efficiency.
Applying for a Social Security sickness benefit? Here's what you need to know. A complete claims package includes 1. Sickness claim form fully completed by the claimant and medical doctor. 2. Salaries record form completed by the employer or HR representative. 3. Proof of bank account such as bank book, online banking, or statement displaying your name and account number. To submit via email, you need to take a clear photo or scan of the documents and email to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz. Be sure to include your full name, social security number, and benefit type in the subject line of the email. Or you can drop off all completed forms into the Dropbox slot at the nearest branch office. Deadline to submit is 14 days from your first day of illness. All forms are available on the website at www.socialsecurity.org.bz. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank. Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, March 9th. I am Sabrina Daly. A foiled attempt at carrying out an assignment in an extremely hostile neighborhood has left the body of an alleged gunman inside the morgue at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital. Since the beginning of the week, a group of men have reportedly been focusing on an apartment building in Locks Alley. It is not clear who they were looking for, but on Tuesday night, sometime before 9 o'clock, things turned deadly when a spray of bullets ended the life of Carol Sanchez. He was a long way from home with a trio of men who were intent on hitting their target. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
A 23-year-old Belize City resident was cut down in a hail of bullets on Wednesday night when a surprise attack on a pair of men went horribly wrong. Carol Sanchez, along with 3 others, entered a property on Logwood Street, proceeded to jump the back fence, and let loose a shower of rounds. The indiscriminate shooting endangered many lives, including a handful of children who were inside their home when the apartment building came under siege.
I'm never there up here. I'm the downstairs. I'm just gonna carry waffle for my friend down there because I'm the make waffle. But everybody me there in here, my kids them there in here. Some of our friends and they come outside because the waffle me they smoke up the place. So when I walk downstairs, figure carry the waffle. By the time I lock her door, I just hear shots start to fly.
The volley of shots easily tore through the wooden walls, the ceiling above, a baby's bag inside the bedroom, and even her father's left hamstring.
My boyfriend and the baby, they may sit on the step, but he give my baby to the neighbor because he may going downstairs same time.
Fortunately, his injury was clean. The round that struck him entered and exited that part of his leg, leaving behind only a flesh wound. Amid the chaos of gunfire, Sanchez, who lives on Flamboyant Street, was mortally wounded.
That for he own shot he. 3 of them be over there. 3 gunmen, 3 of them. He made jump the fence. That's why he get shot. Because they the shot and he the jump the fence. So that for he own shot he the jump the fence, he jump right in at the line of fire.
That's according to those who witnessed the bedlam. Police, on the other hand, assert that Sanchez wasn't injured by friendly fire. They report that someone within Locks Alley, the dead end adjacent to Logwood Street, returned fire, hitting Sanchez in the left shoulder.
He come and he look for where he get, and I no sorry and I no afraid and I no care that him had the ball. Because she have big balling. What if that me had the ball for my 4 picnic they were underage. 5 months, 11, 3 and 16. That no make no sense. That no make no sense because nobody send her here. He live way to the hell back there. I don't know who send her here.
Residents say that it's the 3rd attack on the apartment on consecutive nights.
I never surprised because this are 3 nights in a row. They young man called Dago. I don't know who they Dago because who they want no live here. No live here none at all. We call police no come. But no dead body end up out there, they come. 3 nights in a row, he jumped this fence. This is the 3rd night to do it. Jump the fence.
Also injured during the incident were 25-year-old Devon Tillett and 18-year-old DeAndre Williams. The other 3 assailants who accompanied Sanchez reportedly ran through an alley on Bannock Street. One of them was captured in an overgrown yard. A pair of loaded firearms was also discovered at the entrance of Locks Alley. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
Prime Minister John Briceño has been given an honorary doctorate from Kunshan University in Tainan, Taiwan. The Prime Minister has also been awarded the Order of Propitious Clouds with Special Grand Cordon. Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen conferred the honors on the PM for his role in advancing mutual ties over the years. The Prime Minister is leading a Belizean delegation in Taiwan, promoting bilateral cooperation. Currently, Belize, Honduras, Guatemala, and Paraguay are the only 4 countries in Latin America out of Taiwan's remaining 15 diplomatic allies. During the ceremony, President Tsai, through a translator, expressed hope that our 2 countries can deepen the diplomatic friendship that is over 30 years old.
This is the first time I have received Prime Minister Briceño since taking office, and it is Prime Minister Briceño's first visit to Taiwan since he assumed his current position. It is a great pleasure to greet a dear friend from afar with our grandest display of military honors. This October marks the 33rd anniversary of diplomatic relations between the Republic of China, Taiwan, and Belize. In recent years, our two nations have worked together very closely in numerous fields. Through Prime Minister Briceño's visit, we look forward to exchanging opinions on issues of mutual interest, deepening cooperation, and elevating our diplomatic friendship even further.
During the ceremony in Taiwan, Prime Minister John Briceño said that people are yearning for a new humanitarian spirit that promotes peace. This, he says, is a concept that Belize supports.
Belize and Taiwan are friends and partners. We enjoy a cordial bilateral relationship which has grown stronger during the almost 33 years. Belize has benefited greatly from our diplomatic partnership with Taiwan that is based on the shared values of democracy, freedom, human rights, and the rule of law. Both Taiwan and Belize firmly believe that we must build on our multilateral system and reject the rise of hegemony. Global challenges require global responses, global cooperation, and genuine partnership. Citizens everywhere call for a renewed respect for the right of all peoples to self-determination, non-interference in the internal affairs of countries, the territorial integrity of all nations, and the peaceful settlement of disputes.
While in Taiwan, the PM and his wife, Rosana Briceño, have been hosted at a state banquet, during which the two leaders spoke of topics of mutual concern. The Prime Minister is also meeting with senior Taiwanese officials and potential investors. Belize and Taiwan formed diplomatic ties in 1989. A fire this morning at the corners of South Street and West Canal completely destroyed a small wooden structure. At the time, the property was occupied by an 82-year-old woman. According to Bernadette Lucas, she was attempting to get a fire going in order to prepare breakfast when the mattress went up in flames. The fire destroyed all her belongings, leaving her with only the clothes on her back. She is thankful to be safe, but could use some help.
I got up this morning and I started the fire. I cut up the onions and the things and to get rid of the fire. So I had cooked the boiling water for the tea, and after I done that, the fire just blew out, and the wind was heavy, so the fire burned out. So I tried to start it, but every time I try, it keep going on, it keep going on. So I tear up my sheet and I start putting it in there. It went out, so I went in and I got a bottle and I stuck some stuff in there and I started the fire. And then the piece from the stuff from that, it fell. I didn't see any fire. I stuck it in back and I went to put it out. And when I was there a minute, when I hear something going pop, 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 and all of a sudden I look, the fire. The fire had already started. And the place is old, it's very old. And it started burning, and it burned. But the mattress was already on fire, So I couldn't go in, and I didn't have my key. So Bonelli and his friends, they came and they told me, get out. I said, I'm fine, I'm standing right here. He said, no, get out. And they busted down the fence, and then they got me out of there and brought me over here.
I presume you may have lost everything in the fire?
Yes, everything. That's what I'm wearing. But praise God, I'm alive. I'm not sick. I didn't get burned. I didn't get scorched. I'm doing good.
How long were you living in that structure?
I have been living in there off and on since 1964. It's my grandmother Lucinda Turner structure.
An effort is being made to help Lucas start over. A small donation has been made on her behalf by neighbors in the area. Coming up, the Commissioner of Police says he will not dialogue with the gangs. His interview when we return.
Todo beliceño merece tener una conexión de internet de calidad, rápida y confiable en su hogar. Para clases en línea y trabajo desde casa, es la nueva forma de vida. DigiNet es el proveedor número 1 de servicio de fibra óptica, impulsando la transición digital de Belice. Y ahora nuestro servicio de DigiNet es aún más accesible con nuestro nuevo plan de entrada. Por tiempo limitado, tú y tu familia pueden disfrutar de 20 megabits por segundo por solamente $49 mensuales. No más clases perdidas ni reuniones virtuales interrumpidas. Te está costando mucho tiempo y dinero. DigiNet es mejor que cualquier opción de cable o servicio inalámbrico. Visita cualquier Digistore hoy y suscríbete para la conexión más rápida y confiable de Internet para el hogar en Belice. Ven a ver lo que te has estado perdiendo. El mismo servicio de fibra de alta calidad, rápido y confiable, ahora a un precio aún más bajo. Para más información, visita www.livedigi.com/DigiNet. Digi, nuestra telecomunicación nacional.
We are forest firefighters. Some days, we joke around while we work. Other days, we put our life on the line. Mother Nature can be cruel, with intense heat that burns our forest. But there are many times when human carelessness is to blame. We've seen it all. Poor use of fire to clear land, maybe for farming, burning garbage, or illegal burning for hunting animals, leaving campsites without properly outing campfires, to people disposing cigarettes where they shouldn't. One small spark can lead to an enormous wildfire. Our job can be dangerous, but we take the risk to help protect our forest and wildlife. In turn, this helps protect our way of life as citizens of Belize. We help to ensure access to clean air and water, securing jobs helping the timber and tourism industry. You can do your part. Always obey the laws regarding fires and be fire-wise. Learn how to prevent, prepare, and protect yourself and our forest by calling the Forest Department at 822-1524 or find us on Facebook.
Kite flying is fun, but it can also be dangerous. Fly kites safely by following these tips. Never use wire, metallic thread, or wire-reinforced strings. You could be electrocuted. Remember, even a safely built kite can cause a power outage if it gets caught in a power line. Always use paper, plastic, or wood to build kites. Never fly kites near power lines, in the path of traffic, aircrafts, or near highways. Always fly kites with a responsible adult in open areas, in dry weather, and with clear visibility. Never attempt to remove your kite from a power line. Always call BEL at 0800-235-2273 if your kite gets caught in a power line. Belize Electricity Limited. We care about your safety.
Towering above us, they give us oxygen and food, tools and shelter, and create some of the most biodiverse habitats on Earth. As the biggest plants on the planet, trees are important for life. In fact, research shows that within minutes of being surrounded by trees, your blood pressure drops, your heart rate slows down, and your stress levels plummet. In Belize, we are blessed to have 60% of our national territory under forest cover and nearly half of our national territory safeguarded in the form of protected areas. Protected areas are safe havens that preserve our forests and jungles of Belize from mass destruction and extraction, or as it's known, deforestation. And as Belize's population increases, it's opening a gateway for unsustainable rural land use. Logging and farming also significantly contributes to deforestation. We need healthy forests, as they absorb carbon dioxide and other harmful gases from the atmosphere. So without them, the rate of climate change accelerates and greenhouse gases in the atmosphere increases. Without forests, soil would wash away, leaving behind a barren wasteland where no crops will grow, forcing farmers to move on and repeat this destructive cycle elsewhere. Like kidneys, trees control the flow and use of water by catching rain and slowly releasing it into rivers and streams or into groundwater below, which protects us from flooding. As the heart and lungs of the world, Trees power and sustain ecosystems. They offer habitation both above and below the ground to numerous insects and bigger animals alike. By providing food and shelter, Belize's forests and jungles support life and rich biodiversity. Without trees, what will be left of our jewel? We must work together to combat the unsustainable use of land and illegal logging. We encourage you to preserve existing forest ecosystems and to support protected areas. A message from APAMO, the voice of Belize's protected areas.
A recent flare-up of gang warfare in various areas of Belize City, including George Street, Wagner's Lane, PIV, and Mayflower Street, has prompted the Belize Police Department to take decisive action in quelling what is believed to be an outbreak of deadly violence. On Tuesday night, a group of men from the PIV gang was inserted into rival territory with the sole purpose of avenging a shooting incident over the weekend, which resulted in Patrick Pato Jones narrowly escaping with his life. The men were dropped off on Logwood Street, where they would infiltrate an enemy stronghold. But the insertion did not go as planned, ending with the execution of Carol Sanchez. It is one of several gang-related incidents that the police are trying to control.
We have been working with a view to see how we can quell some of the gang tensions on the streets of Belize City. We are doing a number of things to see how we can respond adequately to the rising of these different feuds with different fractions. Let me say that what we have seen over the past few weeks is an intense rivalry between George Street and Wagner's Lane, which have resulted in many shootings, and including one that was fatal. And then we also have the tension within the Mayflower area, which have expanded to now include PIV. And this is a direct result of the shooting at Pato vehicle. You'll recall that Pato vehicle was shot at 2 nights ago as he traversed Nargosta Street area. Right. And the shooting itself resulted in him overturning, causing extensive damage to his vehicle. So we saw last night now where apparently PIV retaliated in respect to what happened with Pato. And 4 members of PIV were dropped off in the area of Lagwood Street last night to go and do the execution in retaliation for the Pato shooting. Apparently, as they were making their way to the area where they were supposed to go, the guys from that area spotted them quite a distance away and gave them enough time to have made their way from where they were to another area. And what the investigation shows is that one of the guys who had gone to do the execution, he ran into the area firing shots, and we believe that he was cornered while doing so, and he was fatally shot. 2 persons from within the Mayflower area were also shot, but they received minor injuries. They were taken to the hospital, treated, and released.
As a result of the recent spate of gang-related shootings, instructions have been given to the respective operation commanders to come down hard on feuding gangs. Notwithstanding a late afternoon meeting at Old Belize, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams did not join the Leadership Intervention Unit in dialogue with gang members. Instead, he is reverting to a hardline approach to bring the situation to a calm.
In response, I have given direction to Commander Operations, that is both Mr. Greenwich and Mr. Rosado, that there is a need for us to revisit how we have been dealing with these gang members. And while yes, we do have some of them who are productive and are engaged in the ongoing arrangement that we have through the multi-agency task force, we will try our utmost best to keep those who are engaged and trying to change their life to do so. But at the same time, we must go hard on those who continue to hold the people of the city hostage. I believe that we have done a lot with a view to ensure that we work with everybody, but it seems as if some don't want for us to work with them and they want to be working against us or against the law-abiding people of this country. And so operations will be conducted in Belize City every day, and those operations are geared at going after gang members aggressively.
Sir, but didn't you just have a mediation meeting, sir?
I don't. I was invited to that meeting. I said I'm not going to talk with no gang member. I believe that I have spoken enough with these people, and for me at this time it's no more talking. Mr. Rosado is engaged with the LIU in those discussions. I am not going to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of it, because at the end of the day, as I've rightly said, we have taken enough time to speak to these persons.
There will be changes in the leadership of Eastern Division in the days ahead, as Senior Superintendent Suzette Anderson is being transferred to Belmopan to head the Western Region. Replacing her in Belize City is Assistant Commissioner of Police Howell Gillett. These changes come at a critical time amid the increase in gang activity across the old capital.
There have been some discussions in terms of changing the commander in Eastern Division. You know, Jules, you have been around long enough to understand the dynamics of policing, especially in Eastern Division. And there is no magic fix. There is no come and wave finger, wave a flag and think that all is going to be fine and dandy, that all the gang members are going to sing Kumbaya. But at the end of the day, we as a department tasked with the responsibility of ensuring we do what we can for the safety and security for people. We have to, from time to time, re-strategize, look at situations where we can put people where they can function at optimal. And I can tell you that Ms. Anderson, who is the current OC in Eastern Division, is a very dynamic leader. She's young, she's vibrant, and at the end of the day, we just look to see where we can put her, where that she can continue to function, and the switch is being made between her and Howell Gillett. You know that Eastern Division is the largest region in the country. Mr. Gillett is a ACP, Ms. Anderson is a senior SUP. The post for OC Eastern Division is that of an ACP, and so Ms. Anderson will go and take over the Western region.
The Belize National Forensic Science Service, which falls under the Ministry of Home Affairs, is hosting the 3rd Belize Forensic Science Symposium. The professional development event is organized this year around the theme Fostering Community, Pursuing Innovation and Instilling Confidence, the role of forensics in the justice ecosystem. Scheduled speakers include judges, forensic pathologists and analysis, crime scene and legal medicine experts, professors, managers and laboratory directors. The government of Belize and the United States Agency for International Development are the main supporters. But according to the ministry, the conference is receiving support this year from InfoSegura, the evidence-based information management on citizen security in Central America and the Dominican Republic project. The 3rd Forensic Symposium takes place this Friday, March 11th, and will be entirely via Zoom. The ministry responsible for Indigenous Peoples Affairs under the leadership of Minister Dolores Balderramas Garcia and the Minister of State, Elvia Vega, continues its latest tour of the southern communities. The visit is to further the consultations on the FPIC protocol. Here's a look at the ministry's weekend trip down south with comments from Minister Garcia and Minister Oscar Requena, courtesy the Government Press Office.
This is the 3rd time this year that Minister Elvia Vega and myself, Minister of State Elvia Vega and myself, have been coming down to the south to consult with the Maya villages of the south. Pleasant Sunday morning to everyone. It's wonderful to be here in the beautiful village of San Marcos, Toledo. We are here, number 1, to reach out to the communities. 2, to say that we are serious about the implementation of the Caribbean Court of Justice consent order. And thirdly, of course, to share information about what we call the free prior informed consultation process. FPIC means free prior informed consent, but we call it free prior informed consultation protocol because it is a consultation process. And basically what it means is that government or a private entity like a company or a private owner, before coming into a Maya community and carrying out a project, we should consult. And this FPIC protocol is putting in writing our responsibility to consult and our respect for the Maya communities.
As a government, we have to reach out to the communities. We have to sit with them, we have to talk with them, we have to listen to them. That allows us to be in a better position, to be better informed, to be able to make better decisions, and at the end of the day, to take into account the will of the people in the developmental process of our country.
After the break, young journalists get support from Belize and Trinidad. Why fact-checking matters now more than ever. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
My name is Natalie and I'm a working mom with 2 small children. Before I got pregnant, there were never any issues about my performance at work. However, when I did get pregnant, the way I was treated made me feel that I wasn't welcome anymore in the workplace. And so I decided to resign for my health and for the health of my baby. By the time my husband and I decided to have a second child, I was working at a company that had policies that accommodate women who are pregnant and nursing mothers. For example, we would get time off to nurse our children. I feel lucky to be working for a company that does not discriminate against pregnant women or nursing mothers. I believe that all women in Belize deserve that right. And at the end of the day, we're all Belizeans and we should all be treated with respect.
Can I trust hybrid technology?
Ah, come on, no need to be shy. Toyota's hybrid technology isn't new. We've been optimizing it for over 20 years, beginning with its first generation, right through the 4th generation models on the road today. And while other manufacturers are just getting started, we're putting our hybrid leading technology at the heart of all our vehicles for the years to come.
I am proud to be a Belizean.
I've always enjoyed the different flavors of my country. Every nook and cranny has its own unique taste.
Our history, rich with culture. We've come so far since our independence. Our flag, rivers, mountains, our people, diverse and strong.
Looking back, I am proud and honored. We must continue to preserve and conserve our culture and country for the next generation.
This is our Belize. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
all in one place. Shop brands you know and trust, like Kohler. Welcome, GE Appliances.
Welcome.
Oran Windows.
Welcome.
Tiles from around the world.
Welcome.
Sherwin-Williams Paint and Coatings. Visit us today at mile 3 on the Philip Golson Highway or call us at 223-3768. Design Depot. All in one place.
Do people actually hear from God? Are there really angels and demons? Okay, now that's just unbelievable. In our next series, we're going beyond the Google search and facing the tough questions. It's time to take on the skeptic and eliminate the doubt. From inconceivable to unimaginable, we're talking about the Bible's most unbelievable truths. Every second of this series will be worth your while. Believe it or not.
La Unidad de Energía del Ministerio de Servicios Públicos, Energía, Logística y E-Gobernanza realizarán una encuesta nacional sobre el uso de la energía del 2 de febrero al 20 de mayo de 2022. La encuesta abarcará todos los sectores económicos de Belice y la información recolectada será usada para apoyar políticas energéticas y ayudar a planificar un futuro sostenible para el sector energético de Belice. Si su hogar ha sido seleccionado, un encuestador visitará su casa con una identificación. Las empresas recibirán un cuestionario en línea para completar. En ambos casos, el ministerio solicita su amable colaboración. Esta encuesta está financiada por una subvención del Fondo Mundial para el Medio Ambiente, por medio del Banco Mundial como organismo ejecutor del proyecto, dentro del Proyecto de Resiliencia Energética para la Adaptación al Clima.
Accused of manslaughter by negligence in the death of Senior Superintendent of Police Henry Jamot, Jasmine Hartin appeared before the San Pedro Magistrate Court this morning. There, the prosecution submitted additional pages of disclosure and several DVDs related to the allegation against her. The question is, will all this be enough to convince the court on March 31st that the matter should be taken before the Supreme Court of Belize for trial? News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Jasmine Hartin is another step closer towards facing trial for the charge levied against her in the death of Senior Superintendent of Police Henry Jamot. In a disclosure hearing inside the San Pedro Magistrate Court, the prosecution submitted 78 pages and 3 DVDs containing the arguments they are prepared to put forward in the trial against Hartin. These materials, in addition to the 81 pages of evidence submitted in a previous disclosure hearing, makes for a total of 160 pages that Hartin and her attorney, Richard Dickey Bradley, must now sift through.
Procedurally, Ms. Jasmine is required to be given full disclosure in the indictable matter, which is the case that everybody is focusing their attention on. Today in court, she was handed by the prosecutor, Prosecutor Andrews, Sergeant Andrews, the remaining pages, which amounted to 78 pages of additional disclosure, and 3 DVDs. They are completing the burning of 2 others, which will then complete giving her all the information that the prosecution would hope to marshal when the day for trial comes around.
The preliminary inquiry, a hearing in which the judge will review the evidence to decide if there is enough evidence to have a trial, has been set for March 31st, 2022. And with the pages and pages of evidence and DVDs, the prosecution's case against Hartin at the onset appears to be thorough.
A lot of times when you see large disclosures, they are banking on quantity, but we're interested in quality. We would want to see which statements really contain a matter that goes to the allegation. The rest will just be fluff and formalities. So Remember, there were only 2 persons on the pair, and one is not here. So 180 pages is most interesting, no?
And anything eye-popping initially that I don't know gives you the trembles?
It's too early to say, and remember, I'm not charged, so I know Jasmine is going over each page several times, and she makes notes, and she's in communication to be of assistance with us.
As for Hartin, who has been going over each page of the prosecution's evidence against her, she had this to say.
First round of disclosure I received had a lot of shocking surprises, I should say. I haven't had a chance to go through these yet, but it's been interesting so far.
According to Attorney Bradley, a Queen's Counsel in Britain has offered to assist Hartin in the case.
They are going all out for the kill, no pun intended on the word, but that is the state of affairs. So the magistrate is going to hold a preliminary inquiry at the end of this month, March, and commit the matter to the next available session of the Supreme Court.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
50 youths from Belize and Trinidad and Tobago are taking part in a virtual journalism program called Fact Checked, Critical Thinking Journalism for Youth. The 2-week program, which is being sponsored by the U.S. Embassy, provides media literacy training for the budding writers and reporters. During the virtual opening on Tuesday, Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Louis Zabanet, shared his view that the program could not have come at a better time, when the world is drenched in misinformation and fake news.
You, our precious young people, will be better prepared after this course to detect, clean and clear the air of this rancid and poisonous cloud of lies and misdirection. The future survival of our democratic way of life, where freedom and prosperity are founded on the truth, depends on our abilities to resoundingly defeat the forces of anti-truth with superior critical thinking skills and a passion for integrity of character and accuracy of communication. We experience today in both traditional and social media numerous instances of confusion over what is true and what is false. This is especially the case in the amorphous social media realm, where quote-unquote experts abound in every imaginable field and area of interest. It is one thing for someone to mistakenly state or report something that is not accurate and then make a correction, and another to purposefully mislead an audience with knowingly false information with malicious intent.
Great Belize Television CEO Marlene Cuellar, who is herself an award-winning journalist, was the keynote speaker during the Belize and Trinidad media training. She warned participants to be discerning about their sources, particularly with the overwhelming amount of information online, which can be used to support or negate a particular argument or position.
Media literacy has become a foundational skill for today's generation. Globally, online content consumption is estimated to be 6 to 7 hours daily. And don't worry, I won't ask you to share your screen time analytics, but just imagine during this time that we engage in front of our screens, we're bombarded by articles, videos, infographics, and even memes telling us stories and trying to capture our attention. Some of us try to exercise control and step away from the computer and put down the phone, but then get notified on our watches. That is how hyper-connected we are. And if we're to be honest, impatient as well to get information. But this information overload can pose a significant threat. Let's use the example of Googling. One Google search and we have instant access to millions of results. And the best and worst part is you can find exactly what it is you're looking for. We saw this in the pandemic as people searched for reasons to get vaccinated and reasons not to get vaccinated. And let's look at something less consequential. If you look for health benefits of milk versus side effects of milk, you enter a minefield of information, and depending on what you search for, you can find the validation you needed to reinforce pre-existing biases and beliefs.
Just ahead, high school students are invited to apply for the U.S. Embassy's Youth Ambassador Program. A young reporter finds out more about the great opportunity for pair networking in the United States when we return. But first, here is a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
This weather update is brought to you by SMART. This weather update was brought to you by SMART.
Jackie, let's go for ice cream. And remember, if your mom hear about this, Emil get her share too. Hey Jack, how about you and Uncle J pair a little game?
No, Uncle, I don't like your games.
Well, that means I'll have to start playing with little Amy then.
No, not Amy. I'll play with you.
That's my baby girl.
Sexual violence against children can cause lifelong harm and suffering, which may often be hidden. Too many survivors of sexual violence are re-victimized, even by the very people who are supposed to love and protect them. The restrictions put into effect during the COVID-19 pandemic made it even more challenging for people to report acts of sexual violence. It is never too late to speak up and to seek help you or a loved one may need. Sexual violence may breed a vicious cycle of domestic violence, and its effects can span generations. Girls who experience sexual violence as children are also at higher risk of staying in situations of domestic violence. Belize will not be safe until its women are safe. Secure Belize.
Galenia Hospital, located in Cancun, Mexico's premier tourism destination, is a state-of-the-art healthcare facility that provides highly specialized medical services. We are Quintana Roo's biggest private hospital with board-certified doctors and staff. Some of our services include Cath Lab, Adult Intensive Care Unit, Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, emergency rooms, operating theaters, ambulance services, and more. We are a medically accredited hospital by JCI, Accreditation Canada International, and General Health Council, providing extraordinary care in every specialty, from our cardiology department to our neurology center. We are focused on treating the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. Contact us at medicaltourism@hospitalgalenia.com or visit our website at www.hospitalgalenia.com. Come to Galenia Hospital in Cancun for a truly personal medical care experience.
In these trying times, Smart is here to lessen the burden. Smart's reduced roaming rates save you while traveling. Calls back home are a low 35 cents per minute when visiting Canada, the US, and Mexico, or pay as low as 50 cents for calls when visiting countries in the Caribbean, Central, and South America. For the month of February and March, enjoy an unbelievable low rate of 30 cents per megabyte when roaming with mobile data in Canada, the US, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean. Whether you are a business traveler, studying abroad, visiting loved ones, or just traveling for pleasure, Smart's new roaming rates have got you covered. Roaming in China, Europe, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean is as low as the cost of making a local call. It's that low. Smart's roaming coverage continues to grow, so you can also enjoy affordable roaming rates in several destinations across the globe. For more information on rates to other countries, visit our website or call 1090 for more details before you travel. Smart, bringing people together.
To celebrate International Children's Day of Broadcasting this past weekend, the National Committee for Families and Children, NCFC, facilitated an interview by a member of the Children's Advisory Board with the Chargé d'Affaires of the U.S. Embassy in Belmopan. During her session, Monique Ochoa asked for details about a program other Belizean high school students may be interested in applying for as they seek to be change makers in their community. Here's that interview, courtesy of NCFC.
No make nobody chance you. You got to know your rights and let no one abuse you. You better know your rights. No make.
Hello, Chargé. What is the Youth Ambassadors Program?
The Youth Ambassadors Program is a very special youth exchange program that takes place in the United States. It was designed by Georgetown University and it's funded by the Department of State. It brings together high school youth to exchange ideas and to network and to demonstrate leadership qualities that they can then bring back to their communities to make a difference.
What kind of activities do the Youth Ambassadors engage during the program?
So there's a lot of fun, a lot of networking. They get together with fellow members of their community and design programs that they can bring back to their own communities to make change happen.
Who is eligible to become a Youth Ambassador?
I believe that the program is open to Belizean high school students ages 15 to 18 and usually people who have not had a lot of exposure to the United States yet, and youth who have a demonstrated passion for leadership and making a change in their communities.
Why is this program important to the U.S. Embassy?
We are so excited to bring the future leaders of Belize to the United States, to network with our future leaders, because now more than ever, the custodians of democracy, who are the youth, have to bring these ideas forward. Our democracies will rely on innovative leadership by youth such as yourself.
Do you have any words of encouragement to the young Belizeans who may consider applying for the next cohort?
I sure do. Get out that digital paper and pen, so to speak, and just apply. We are looking for people from all walks of life. We are looking for Belizeans from all over the country who represent passion and a desire to make that change in their community.
Thank you, Chargé, for sharing about the Youth Ambassadors Program.
Thank you so much for being here.
No make nobody chance you. You got to know your rights and let no one abuse you.
To fill out an application for the U.S. Youth Ambassadors Program, you can go to the U.S. Embassy's Belmopan's website and find the Youth Programs page. The Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management announced today that Anthony Mai has been promoted to Chief Environmental Officer. According to a government release, Mai has over 15 years' experience working with the Department of Environment, most recently as the Senior Environmental Officer. He possesses a graduate degree with a concentration in sustainable development from Galen University and an undergraduate degree in biology from the University of Belize. The department congratulates Mai on the new post and says he is expected to, quote, aid in bridging the environment-development nexus in Belize, unquote. Up next, a celebration of life. Friends and UDP supporters turn out to say goodbye to Herbert Panton. Stay with us.
Hola usuario de eCash, la aplicación eCash está disponible en español. Cambiar el idioma de tu aplicación de eCash de inglés a español es rápido y sencillo. Déjame mostrarte cómo se hace. Primero, abre tu aplicación eCash. Introduce tu PIN. Toca el icono More en la parte inferior de tu pantalla. Selecciona Security. Selecciona Language. Y luego selecciona Spanish. Vuelve a introducir tu PIN y ya está. Tu aplicación de eCash está ahora en español y puedes seguir disfrutando de tu cartera digital eCash. La aplicación eCash de Belize Bank te hace la vida más fácil.
Electricity is an essential part of our daily lives. We use lights and household appliances every day. Therefore, we must ensure our homes are wired properly. At Benny's, we have certified wires with the right gauges and insulation, BEL certified meter sockets, authentic GE and square D panel boxes and breakers, which protect your electrical system from being overloaded. When wiring your home, avoid imitation brands which can be very dangerous. Give yourself and your family peace of mind using genuine electrical products available at Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
Why should you wear your mask? To protect myself. My friends. My family and others. I wear my mask because I love my grandparents. With so many reasons to wear a mask, we continue to advise persons to wear a face mask properly, covering both nose and mouth. Together, we can keep Belize COVID-19 safe.
The ministry is collaborating with SpeedNet Communications to have a vaccination campaign for children ages 12 to 17 years. Children who get vaccinated will get a chance to win fabulous prizes, including backpacks with supplies, Nintendo Switch, tablets, book tuitions, and MiFi with 3 months data. Only children 12 to 17 years old can participate in this smart and Ministry of Health and Wellness raffle. At vaccination sites, each vaccinated child, upon being vaccinated, will receive a ticket to place their name, age, date of birth, BHIS number, and contact information on, which will be filled out by a parent or legal guardian. The sooner a person vaccinates, the more chances he or she will have to win. Get vaccinated, Belize. Vaccination saves lives.
A memorial ceremony was held today at the House of Culture in Belize City for the late Herbert Panton, a UDP stalwart and attorney at law who passed away suddenly 1 week ago. Described as being the life of the party at special events or on special occasions, like September 10th, Panton was also described by his cousin Carol Panton Rose as a candid, straight-hour and loving family man.
In our later years, he and Tracy were always so welcoming, and a lot of the memories took place in their home, where you were always told to make yourself at home. And if you ever brought a significant other to the house and think you would get off easy, my oh my, it was like an induction. Herbie would let the person know upfront and personal that who you know and tell me what are your intention with my family. But once you got in, you were good to go. He welcomed you with love.
Senior Crown Counsel Javier Chan, who was Herbert Panton's colleague in the legal profession, reflected on the life of the man he called friend.
That was not a state that Herbert regarded with any trepidation. He was ready to embrace death. He always told me on many occasions during our great friendship, "Doctor, when I dead, I don't want nobody cry. I want everybody party." He would take a sip and say, "Kilich Kalach, case closed." But Herbert must have known that he was the kind of person upon whose death we would not cry. We would bawl, not party, but eternally mourn. Herbert, as everyone knew, did it his way. Herbert was one of a kind. His rich laughter filled many ears. We will never forget that one of a kind laughter of Herbert. Herbert loved Tracy, there is no doubt about that. Adriana and Hope were his heartstrings. That I know.
Also reflecting on the life of Herbert Panton at today's memorial at the House of Culture was UDP Chairman Mike Perifeet.
On behalf of the United Democratic Party, I just want to say respect to the family, want to honor my brother and friend Herbie Panton. Indeed, Kilich Kalach, he would appreciate if I were to say right now that me and you Herbert, but I'm mostly you. And I am sure that you and Raindrops and Ribo will hold it down till we get there. We're not a rush to go there yet, you know. But hold it down till we get there, and notice I never say heaven or hell. But in all seriousness, it is a celebration of a life, but a very, very sad day. We will miss you, Herbie. We will always remember the great times we had with you, the love, the brutal honesty, and if you're a true friend, you're a true friend. And he was a friend to all and sundry.
In his career, Panton served as the editor of the UDP's Guardian newspaper and as the party's Assistant Secretary General. He was married to Albert Area Representative Tracy Tager Panton and has 2 daughters. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.